उनका स्वागत करेंगे as soon as the Honorable Minister of Power, New and Renewable Energy will come. We all will welcome him with a huge round of applause. Minister has already arrived and he is looking at the exhibition. I request you all to kindly get seated, get settled. सभी लोगों से निवेदन है कृपया बैठ जाएं. Honorable Minister पहुंच चुके हैं और वो exhibition का अवलोकन कर रहे हैं. He is looking at the exhibition, visiting the exhibition. I request you all that the Honorable Minister has already arrived. He is in the premises, he is visiting and seeing the exhibition. I request you all to kindly take your seats. आप सभी से निवेदन है जो लोग खड़े हुए हैं कृपया बैठ जाएं. अभी भी जो लोग खड़े हुए हैं मैं सभी से निवेदन करती हूं कृपया बैठ जाएं. अभी भी मैं मोबाइल की आवाज़ सुन पा रही हूँ. मैं निवेदन करूँगी हमारे सभी ऑडियंस से कि कृपया मोबाइल फ़ोन्स को ज़रूर साइलेंट पे कर लें. May I request you all to kindly switch off your mobile phones or keep it in silent mode, please. The Honorable Minister has already arrived. He is looking at the exhibition. So any moment he will be here. So we all will welcome him with a huge round of applause. और उसके बाद हमारा कार्यक्रम शुरू होगा. I request you all who are standing, please take your seats, please, because Honorable Minister will be here in a short while from now. We extend a very warm and hearty welcome to Honorable Minister of Power, New and Renewable Energy, Government of India, Shri R.K. Singh जी. बहुत बहुत स्वागत है माननीय आपका आज के इस कार्यक्रम में. Good morning, Namaskar. Welcome to the 3-day International Conference on Green Hydrogen. We extend a very warm and hearty welcome to Honorable Minister of Power, New and Renewable Energy, Government of India, Shri R.K. Singh ji. स्वागत है Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum and Natural Gas and Labor and Employment, Shri Rameshwar Teli ji का. We also welcome respected Professor Ajay Kumar Sood ji, Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India. Respected Shri Bhupender Singh Bhalla ji, Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. And respected Dr. N. Kalai Selvi ji, Director General, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research and Secretary, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Government of India. I extend a special warm welcome to all our esteemed delegates who have come from overseas. Welcome to India, the land of rich, vibrant and colorful culture. Namaskar. आज का ये सम्मेलन निश्चित ही उस रास्ते को रोशन करेगा जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के उस विजन को सिद्धि तक ले जाएगा जब वो सपना साकार होगा जब भारत ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन टेक्नोलॉजी का ग्लोबल हब होगा. This conference is aimed at discussing the recent advances and upcoming technologies across the entire green hydrogen value chain, bringing together the global scientific and industrial community on this single promising platform. May I request respected Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India, Shri Bhupender Singh Bhalla ji to kindly deliver welcome address.
Honorable Union Minister for Power and New and Renewable Energy, Shri R.K. Singh. Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum and Natural Gas and Labor and Employment, Shri Rameshwar Teli. Our Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India, Professor Ajay Kumar Sood. Director General CSIR and Secretary TSIR, Dr. N. Kalai Selvi. Ambassadors, diplomats, and delegates from different countries participating in this conference, secretaries and other senior officers from various ministries of Government of India, additional chief secretaries, principal secretaries, and other senior officers from states and union territories, CMDs, managing directors, CEOs from public sector units, our distinguished delegates from our friends from the industry, academia, and other organizations, friends from the media, and ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. It is indeed my privilege to welcome you all to this 3-day international conference on green hydrogen, the biggest event so far by Government of India on green hydrogen since the launch of the country's mission. India's economy is growing rapidly, leading to increase in demand for energy and resources. Energy use has doubled in the last 20 years and is likely to grow by at least another 25% by 2030. India currently imports over 40% of its primary energy requirements, worth over $90 billion every year. Major sectors like mobility and industrial production are significantly dependent on imported fossil fuels. This necessitates a shift towards technologies that enable enhanced share of renewable resources in our energy mix and progressively reduce the reliance on fossil fuels. Green hydrogen, produced using renewable energy, has the potential to play a key role in such low carbon and self-reliant economic pathways. With the objective to make India a global hub for production, use, and export of green hydrogen and its derivatives, the National Green Hydrogen Mission was launched by India in January this year. Under the mission, it has been targeted to build capacities to produce at least 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen per annum by 2030. The mission will support replacement of hydrogen produced from fossil fuel sources with green hydrogen in ammonia production, petroleum refining, blending green hydrogen in city gas distribution networks, production of steel with green hydrogen, and use of green hydrogen-derived synthetic fuels like green methanol. And all these to replace fossil fuels in various sectors, including mobility, shipping, and perhaps aviation. The mission is proposed to be implemented in a phased manner, focusing initially on the deployment of green hydrogen in sectors that are already using hydrogen, and evolving an ecosystem for research and development, regulations, and pilot projects. The later phase of the mission will build on these foundational activities and undertake green hydrogen initiatives in other sectors of the economy. The mission aims to develop and scale up green hydrogen production technology and make it affordable and widely accessible. The mission, with an initial budget of about rupees 19,700 crores or US $2.5 billion approximately, includes stimulating demand, incentivizing supply through financial incentives, and facilitating key enablers such as research and development and common infrastructure. Understanding that focused and coordinated approach among all concerned ministries, departments, agencies, and institutions of the central and state governments would be required to ensure successful achievement of the mission objectives. The mission has envisaged roles and responsibilities of all these stakeholders. Pilot projects in the sectors like steel, long-range heavy-duty mobility, energy storage, and shipping are proposed under the mission. These pilot projects will help identify operational issues and gaps in terms of current technology readiness, regulations, implementation methodologies, infrastructure, and supply chains. We believe that an integrated and holistic approach is essential for successful deployment of green hydrogen. This will require collaboration across borders, sectors, and stakeholders. India will need to forge strategic partnerships in all areas of green hydrogen development, whether it is technology, financing, regulations, trade, and policy. Joint investments, collaborative projects, and long-term trade agreements will also be explored. This three-day international conference on green hydrogen has been organized to discuss the recent advances and upcoming technologies across the entire green hydrogen value chain. It is an opportunity for us to discuss the evolving green hydrogen landscape and network with global scientific community and the industry. In this three-day mega event, we have organized 7 plenary sessions providing perspective of different countries and regions. All these will be held in this hall. 16 parallel technical sessions. We have 4 other halls in the Vigyan Bhavan where these technical sections will be done parallelly across 2 days, and catalyzing a systemic approach for meeting the global goals for decarbonization through green hydrogen. We have seen a remarkable enthusiasm from stakeholders for participating in this conference. And sir, I'm very happy to share that we have over 2,700 registered participants from Government of India, states and union territories, industry and academia, and for other organizations. And I think, in fact, we had to close the registration day before yesterday because we thought we were going to be too overfull. We are hopeful that during these 3 days, we will individually and collectively gain knowledge and wisdom on all aspects of green hydrogen from over 100 experts across the sessions that I just pointed out, with active engagements from the other participants. We have a large audience. I'm sure we're going to have a large audience in all these sessions, and we look forward to participation by everyone. This would enable us to better plan the implementation of the National Green Hydrogen Mission as we go forward. I'm personally looking forward to learning a lot from this conference. I welcome you all again, and thank you for joining us for the conference.
Thank you so much, respected Shri Bhupinder Singh Bhalla ji. May I now invite Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, respected Professor Ajay Kumar Suchi, to kindly give his remarks and his presentation on R&D roadmap. Respected Professor Sood.
Honorable Minister of Power and New and Renewable Energy, Shri R.K. Singh ji, Honorable Minister of State, Shri Rameshwar Teli ji, Shri Bhupendra Bhalla, Secretary MNRE, and Dr. Kalai Salvi, DG CSIR, participants from India and abroad, invitees, guests, and all of you who have interest in saving the earth from the climate change, which is very preeminent. So this is a very important conference, as you can all see from the interest of people to really see how we control the CO2 emissions. So the successful deployment of green hydrogen requires an integrated and holistic approach, as was mentioned, and it necessitates collaboration across borders, sectors, and stakeholders. So all of us, it is imperative, need to work towards developing comprehensive regulatory frameworks, financial mechanisms, and supportive policies, and thereby incentivizing investment and ensuring a level playing field for green hydrogen technologies. As was mentioned by Bhupendra ji a few seconds back, very recently India launched the Green Hydrogen Mission, and under that mission there is an advisory committee, and it set out a task to prepare an inter-ministerial report on required R&D to support green hydrogen ecosystem in India. So a large number of people from academia, industry, government labs have participated in this exercise, and a draft report has been made, which we will be putting up on MNRE website and probably Office of PSA website to seek your comments. If you think something is missed out, probably you can tell us in next 2 weeks. So this report, which has come out for about 140 pages, is the draft is ready. So I thought in this few minutes, 5-6 minutes, I'll give you a small snippets of what this report is all about, so that you can look at it in detail and get back to us. So this R&D roadmap, can I have the next slide? Sorry, I have the, okay. Yeah, as was mentioned a few minutes back, in this hydrogen mission, we have certain targets by 2030, and we will be targeting 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen annually, which will need 60 to 100 gigawatt of electrolyzer capacity and 125 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity for green hydrogen generation and associated transmission network. And we estimate that it will have annual emission averted to the tune of 50 million metric ton CO2, and it will create a large number of jobs and a huge investment in this ecosystem. Now there are technology challenges in this, as you all know. So this is just a snapshot of some challenges, like to improve the cost effectiveness in electrolyzers, storage, transportation, fuel cell, industrial applications, and advanced materials. We need to enhance the efficiency. It is imperative, which will need RE electrolysis as well as in biomass-based pathways. Now, also we need to have the scale. We have to do this at a scale, not on a small scale, moving to gigawatt scale installations, and at the same time, which is absolutely must, to ensure safety. So we need to be sure of the design for safety, standards is imperative, and regulations. And we need to integrate this with infrastructure for storage, transport and grid. So this R&D framework under the Green Hydrogen Mission launched by Honorable Prime Minister looks at various aspects. Public-private partnership framework. So here we will have a strategic hydrogen innovation partnership, abbreviated as SHIP, which will have dedicated R&D funds with inputs from industry and government. So it will be a consortium-based approach, and we will have innovation to enhance affordability, efficiency, safety and reliability of systems, strategic international partnerships, and it will all need applied research as well as the long-shot research in breakthrough areas. Few things may take longer than few years, so they should not be ignored. We should look at them. We have to have innovative MSMEs and startups to be encouraged, and we need to identify and support centers of excellence in various subjects and broad-based adequate provision for covering different research areas. So just in next 2-3 minutes, I'll go over how it went about. So we had drafting committees of technical experts from industry and academia, so which took a look at the review status of national and global R&D, identified what are the technology gaps, performance and cost targets, what we need to get, as well as recommendation for R&D roadmap. So we have, in the next slide, I'll show some examples of that. And the key elements of recommendations are identification of high impact areas. We will have 3 verticals, mission mode challenges, which is about up to 3 to 5 years, grand challenges, which are little longer, and blue sky research, which are really very challenging projects, which will take little longer. And we will have strategies for implementation. Just to give you some examples so that it concretize what we are talking. So it has various themes, various verticals in production. We will have in storage and transportation, and of course end-use applications as well as in regulations. So in hydrogen production, we will be looking at steep reduction in electrolyzer capital and operational expenditure. We will look at improving the effectiveness and productivity of operations with focus on durability and reliability, design and development large-scale electrolyzer systems up to megawatts, including stack and balance of plant, and build capacity and keep stock of materials and critical components of electrolyzer stack. Now, this is just a tentative, some examples, I will not go over it. For example, in mission mode projects, which are short-term projects, we will have low platinum group metal catalyst, electrode development, AEM, anion exchange membrane electrocatalyst development, development of solid oxide electrolyzer cell, and feedstock agnostic biomass gasification. In grand challenges, AEM electrolyzer development, power to gas co-electrolysis with solid oxide electrolyzer cells, and so on. Blue sky, which these time scales are not very strict, they will start simultaneously. One should look at the seawater electrolysis to make it on a commercial scale, electrochemical water splitting, thermochemical water splitting, and biomembrane pyrolysis. There is a big list in the report. I'll urge you to look at this report and see if you have any positive, concrete suggestions to make it a better roadmap. In the next one, we have hydrogen storage and transportation to create efficient, safe, and affordable hydrogen storage techniques for high-density storage, minimize leakage and convenient refueling, indigenous development of type 3 and type 4 compressed hydrogen tanks, developing test facilities for compressed hydrogen tanks, very important, which we need to do for type 4 cylinders, increase the efficiency and reduce the cost of hydrogen compression and liquefaction technologies, and to strengthen the pressure and capacity for new builds of 100% hydrogen pipeline while reducing their cost. So we have these material challenges, this has to be tackled. So again, some examples in three verticals. The last one of my slide is the end use applications, where we are looking at improving the reliability, endurance and safety of hydrogen fuel jet engines, improving overall performance of fuel cell systems in terms of power density, reliability and durability. So in the roadmap, we have identified some targets with specific aspirations to achieve in a reasonable amount of time, improving technologies for use of green hydrogen in blast furnace and direct reduced iron processes, and designing safe boilers and heat exchangers for using hydrogen or hydrogen natural gas mixtures. Again, I will not go into details, but again there are well specified themes identified with this drafting committee which had experts, and we will encourage all of you to see how you can contribute to this hydrogen ecosystem and see that we really do all these things on a scale. So the last slide is just to say the next step is obvious. We will have this roadmap which will be put up for public comments, adoption of final roadmap by government, by this mission, and we will have call for R&D proposals and the award of projects. So this is a time-bound thing, and we hope that with the cooperation of all of you from all the players, from all the sectors, we will make progress to make India a strong hydrogen economy in coming years. With this, I welcome all of you once again to this very exciting conference. Please also go out and see some nice 4 exhibits which have been put. Some exhibitions are there, and of course 4 parallel sessions and so on. So it's a very exciting time for the next 3 days, and I hope you will go enriched when you leave this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, respected Professor Sood. India is uniquely placed with the advantage of favorable geographical condition with natural elements to take a lead in this sunrise sector. इस सम्मेलन में स्वागत के बंधनवार सजाए हैं भारत और ओवरसीज के एमिनेंट एक्सपर्ट्स के लिए, स्टेक होल्डर्स के लिए और हाँ, अनंत संभावनाओं के लिए. Now we present a film on India's green hydrogen ecosystem.
Today, the world is making monumental efforts towards decarbonization. Countries and organizations are setting targets to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Transition to clean and green energy sources is an important step in this direction. With this, green hydrogen has emerged as a promising alternative to decarbonize the global economy. Green hydrogen is a versatile energy carrier, has the potential to define low-carbon and self-reliant economic pathways, replacing fossil fuels and fossil-based feedstocks. It can also be utilized for storage of renewable energy and for clean transportation. Further, a green hydrogen ecosystem can spur investment, bringing in economic development while meeting the objectives of green and responsible growth. Government of India is encouraging research and development programs on various pathways of green hydrogen production. Government is also incentivizing manufacturing of electrolyzers and production of green hydrogen. Today, India is one of the fastest growing renewable energy capacity in the world. emerging as one of the most attractive destinations for investments in renewables. To tap this opportunity, India, under visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, launched the National Green Hydrogen Mission in January 2023 to make India a global hub for green hydrogen. The mission is a comprehensive program to facilitate growth of green hydrogen industry value chain in India. The thrust is on innovation in production, storage, transportation and utilization of green hydrogen. Objective is to enhance efficiency and affordability through safe and reliable technology and product systems. With proactive collaboration among innovators and entrepreneurs, green hydrogen has the potential to drastically reduce emissions, fight climate change, and put India on a path towards energy independence. We invite you to explore and invest in green hydrogen for a sustainable future and contribute to a cleaner, greener planet for generations to come.
हमारा विस्तार ले रहा एनर्जी सेक्टर भारत में इन्वेस्टमेंट और कोलैबोरेशन के नए अवसर बना रहा है।
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के युग परिवर्तक नेतृत्व में आज ये देश G20 की महक से सुवासित है। वन अर्थ, वन फैमिली, वन फ्यूचर के नारे से गुंजायमान है। ऐसे में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के द्वारा 15 अगस्त 2021 में लाल किले की प्राचीर से किया गया उद्घोष हम सबकी प्रेरणा बन जाता है और 4 जनवरी 2023 को नेशनल ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन मिशन के हमारे संकल्प में वो तब्दील भी हो जाता है। May I now invite Professor Ajay Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, to kindly read the message of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji.
Thank you. It's indeed a privilege to read an inspiring message from our Honorable Prime Minister, and I quote, "It is heartening to learn about the International Conference on Green Hydrogen, ICGH 2023, organized by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy in partnership with Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, and Office of Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. The conference provides an opportunity to global scientific experts, the industrial community, as well as academia to engage in new learnings from various regional perspectives and establish a green hydrogen ecosystem. As we navigate the challenges posed by climate change, sustainable energy solutions are the need of the hour. Green hydrogen will play a crucial role in our pursuit of sustainable growth along with decarbonization. The culture and ethos of India have always emphasized living in harmony with nature. Therefore, it is natural that we are the only major economy to source 40% of our energy from non-fossil fuel sources 9 years ahead of the target of 2030. We have worked to expand renewable sources of energy such as biofuel, ethanol, biogas, solar and green hydrogen. India as a nation committed to sustainable development has made significant strides in advancing green hydrogen technologies. Our National Green Hydrogen Mission lays out a detailed roadmap for promoting research, development and deployment of green hydrogen across various domains. International collaboration is crucial in realizing our vision of a clean and green planet, and the ICGH 2023 provides a platform for fostering such partnerships. I am sure that the deliberation at ICGH 2023 that includes plenary talks, expert panel discussions, and technical deliberations will enhance engagement and exchange of ideas in this space. May the conference succeed in aiding the creation of a flourishing ecosystem for green hydrogen for the larger benefit of humanity. I wish ICGH 2023 and its organizer all success. Signed, Shri Narendra Modi, New Delhi, Ashar 12, Shank Samvat 1945, 3rd July 2023. Thank you.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और अब हम सादर आग्रह करते हैं ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर पेट्रोलियम एंड नेचुरल गैस एंड मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर लेबर एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट श्री रामेश्वर तेली जी आपसे कि कृपया हम सबको अपने विचारों से अवगत कराएं।
नमस्कार। इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन 2023 की आज की इस मंच पर उपस्थित हमारे माननीय विद्युत एवं नवीन और नवीनीकरणीय ऊर्जा मंत्री श्री R.K. सिंह जी, भारत सरकार के प्रधान वैज्ञानिक सलाहकार श्री अजय कुमार सूद जी, नवीन और नवीनीकरणीय मंत्रालय के सचिव श्री भूपेंद्र S. भल्ला जी, DG CSIR डॉक्टर M. कल्लाई सेल्वी जी, भारत सरकार, राज्य सरकारों एवं सार्वजनिक क्षेत्र के उपक्रमों के वरिष्ठ अधिकारीगण, वरिष्ठ वैज्ञानिकगण, निजी कंपनियों के निदेशकगण, विदेश से आए गण्यमान्य अतिथिगण, मीडिया के साथियों, देवों और सज्जनों, आज ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन के विभिन्न पहलुओं पर चर्चा एवं मंथन के उद्देश्य से आयोजित इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन के उद्घाटन समारोह में उपस्थित होकर मुझे बहुत प्रसन्नता हो रही है। विश्व में हाइड्रोजन बाजार अभी भी विकास के शुरुआती चरण में है, मगर यह बहुत तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय ऊर्जा एजेंसी IEA का अनुमान है कि वर्ष 2050 तक विश्व में हाइड्रोजन की मांग में लगभग 600% की वृद्धि होगी। यह वृद्धि स्वच्छ ऊर्जा की बढ़ रही मांग, नई हाइड्रोजन उत्पादन तकनीकों का विकास और हाइड्रोजन फ्यूल सेल बाजार के विकास सहित अनेक कारणों से होगी। भारत विश्व में हाइड्रोजन के सबसे बड़े उपभोक्ताओं में से एक है और हमारे देश में इसकी मांग लगभग 6 मिलियन टन प्रति वर्ष है। यह विश्व की हाइड्रोजन मांग का लगभग 7-8% है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल में लगभग 20,000 करोड़ रुपए की कुल लागत के साथ राष्ट्रीय ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन मिशन की दिनांक 4 जनवरी 2023 को अनुमोदित किया गया था। इसके लिए नवीन ऊर्जा मंत्रालय नोडल समन्वय मंत्रालय है। ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन के क्षेत्र में पेट्रोलियम और प्राकृतिक गैस मंत्रालय के अधीन हमारे सार्वजनिक क्षेत्र के तेल और गैस पीएसयू द्वारा कई पहल की गई है। हमारी तेल और गैस पीएसयू पहले से ही ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन की पायलट और कॉमर्शियल इकाइयों में निवेश कर रही है, क्योंकि रिफाइनरियों BS6 मानकों को पूरा करने के उद्देश्य से पेट्रोल और डीजल में सल्फर कम करने के लिए हाइड्रोजन का उपयोग करती है। वर्तमान में तेल और गैस पीएसयू वर्ष 2025 और 26 तक करीब 230 किलो टन प्रति वर्ष ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन उत्पादन क्षमता स्थापित करने पर काम कर रही है। कि इसके अलावा तेल और गैस पीएसयू ने वर्ष 2030 तक 0.7 मिलियन टन प्रति वर्ष ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन के उत्पादन का लक्ष्य निर्धारित किया है। हमारे पीएसयू ऑयल इंडिया लिमिटेड ने एक पायलट प्लांट शुरू किया है, जो वर्तमान में उसके जोरहाट असम स्थित कॉलोनियों के गैस नेटवर्क में मिश्रण के लिए 10 kg प्रतिदिन ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन का उत्पादन कर रहा है। गेल इंडिया लिमिटेड ने इंदौर शहर में पाइपेड नेचुरल गैस में 2% तक हाइड्रोजन का नियंत्रित इंजेक्शन शुरू किया है और हाइड्रोजन मिश्रण संबंधी कार्यकलापों के लिए मौजूदा पाइपलाइनों की टेस्टिंग करने के लिए इंजीनियर इंडिया लिमिटेड EIL को नियुक्त किया है। ऐसे प्रयासों से CGD नेटवर्क में हाइड्रोजन मिश्रण की भारी मांग पैदा होने की संभावना है। इसी धारा में EIL और IIT कानपुर द्वारा हाइड्रोजन के विभिन्न स्तरों का CGD नेटवर्क प्राकृतिक गैस पाइपलाइन पर प्रभाव का अध्ययन किया जा रहा है और प्रारंभिक रिपोर्ट सौंप दी गई है। प्रारंभिक रिपोर्ट के अनुसार बिना किसी प्रतिकूल प्रभाव के निर्धारित पाइपलाइनों में 3% तक हाइड्रोजन का मिश्रण किया जा सकता है। इंडियन ऑयल कॉर्पोरेशन लिमिटेड ने भारत में हाइड्रोजन फ्यूल सेल के विकास के लिए टाटा मोटर्स के साथ एक समझौता ज्ञापन पर भी स्वाक्षर किया है। इंडियन ऑयल के R&D सेंटर द्वारा अप्रैल 2024 तक कुल 15 फ्यूल सेल बसों चलाई जाएगी। इंडियन ऑयल R&D सेंटर हाइड्रोजन के भंडारण हेतु IIT खड़गपुर के सहयोग से किफायती टेक्नोलॉजी विकसित कर रहा है। इंडियन ऑयल ने गुजरात में अपनी रिफाइनरी में मौजूदा हाइड्रोजन जेनरेशन यूनिट से हाइड्रोजन के वितरण हेतु एक प्रदर्शन सुविधा स्थापित की है। रिफाइनरी के निकट निर्धारित मार्ग पर 2 प्रोटोटाइप बसों भी चलाई जा रही है। मुझे यह बताते हुए भी बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि गुजरात में बड़ौदा से कैम्बोडिया और असम में जोरहाट से काजीरंगा के टूरिस्ट मार्गों पर हाइड्रोजन फ्यूल सेल बसों का ट्रायल शुरू हो गया है। हालांकि वर्तमान में ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन के उत्पादन की तकनीकी के लिए हम आयात पर निर्भर है। फिर भी इस क्षेत्र में आत्मनिर्भरता के लक्ष्यों का प्राप्त करने के लिए इंडियन ऑयल के निरंतर अनुसंधान कर रहा है। इसी प्रकार से हिंदुस्तान पेट्रोलियम और भारत पेट्रोलियम भी भाभा एटॉमिक रिसर्च सेंटर के साथ मिलकर इस दिशा में लगातार प्रयास कर रहे हैं। भारत में प्रचुर मात्रा में उपलब्ध बायोमास से ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन का उत्पादन करने की दिशा में इंडियन ऑयल R&D सेंटर बायोमास गैसीकरण पर आधारित पायलट ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन प्लांट और अपनी तकनीकी पर आधारित बायो CNG प्लांट स्थापित कर रहा है। भारत में ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन के कारोबार में प्रवेश करने के लिए इंडियन ऑयल ने रिन्यूएबल पावर प्राइवेट लिमिटेड और L&T के साथ जॉइंट वेंचर बनाकर सहयोग बढ़ाया है। हाइड्रोजन को व्यापक तौर पर ईंधन के रूप में इस्तेमाल करने से पहले भी कुछ ऐसे चुनौतियां हैं जिनका समाधान करना जरूरी है। इन चुनौतियों में हाइड्रोजन उत्पादन की लागत को कम करना, व्यापक तौर पर हाइड्रोजन के मूलभूत ढांचों का अभाव और हाइड्रोजन भंडारों और परिवहन को सुरक्षा शामिल है। मैं आशा करता हूं कि इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन में प्राप्त नए विचारों और सुझावों के आदान प्रदान से हमारे देश में ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन के लिए अधिक व्यापक और प्रभावी ढांचे को आकार देने में मदद मिलेगी। ईंधन के रूप में हाइड्रोजन के भावी लाभ बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि हम सब के टीम वर्क से इस रास्ते पर आने वाले सभी चुनौतियों का हम तत्पर से समाधान करेंगे और हमारा देश ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन के क्षेत्र में पूरे विश्व में एक प्रभावशाली भूमिका निभाएगी। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय आपका। ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर श्री R.K. सिंह जी महत्वपूर्ण मंत्रालयों की जिम्मेदारियों को बखूबी निभा रहे हैं, पूरी कर्मठता से और पूरी प्रखरता से। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के दिशा निर्देशन में हमेशा ग्रीन एनर्जी की ओर प्रयाण करने की प्रेरणा आपने दी है। मे आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ पावर एंड न्यू एंड रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी श्री R.K. सिंह जी टू काइंडली एड्रेस अस, गाइड अस एंड शो अस द वे फॉरवर्ड।
Shri Rameshwar Teli ji, the Minister of State for Petroleum, Natural Gas and Labour Employment. Dr. Ajay Sood, the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. Shri Bhupendra Bhalla, the Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Dr. Kalai Selvi, the Director General of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, the Secretary, DSIR. All the eminent scientists, engineers, captains of industry, officers, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the cusp of a brave new world, a world in transition. By and large, there is now a common consensus across the world that the environment is in danger, that the way we live and work needs fixing. Not very long back, maybe 5 years, 7 years back, there are a lot of naysayers, those who refused to believe that there was such a thing called global warming, who refused to, who said that all this is a hoax. Now no longer. that consensus is there across the world that we need to transition. We are one of the lowest emitters in the world. Our per capita emissions are 1/3 of the global average. Our per capita emissions are in the region of about 2 tons, whereas the global average is approximately 6 tons. This stems out of our culture. Our culture is something which emphasizes simplicity. I've been in politics now for almost about 10 years, and I can tell you that the people of our country, they like simplicity. They like simple lifestyles. If I go to my people with a flashy lifestyle, on expensive vehicles, etc., and flashily dressed, I lose votes. That's what our country is. And we revere simplicity. Look at Mahatma Gandhi. And we call, the Indians called him Mahatma because of his simplicity. So that's our culture. And that is the culture which, our Prime Minister spoke about when he spoke about lifestyle for environment. Ultimately, that is the basic solution. That is the fundamental solution. But notwithstanding the fact that we are the lowest emitters in the world, the lowest emitters in the world, except maybe a couple of countries, notwithstanding that, we have emerged as a leader in energy transition, a world leader, without any exception. We had pledged that by 2030, we'll reduce the emissions intensity of our economy by 33%. Now, we've already achieved that. We achieved that, again, a good 9 years in advance. And this despite the fact that, as I said, we are the lowest emitters in the world, one of the lowest emitters in the world. We've further reduced our emissions intensity by 33%. We have some, programs which are world-leading programs in emissions reduction. Our program for LED is was the largest such program, and is still the largest such program in the world. That has resulted in a reduction of CO2 emissions by approximately 103 million tons per annum. Our program for reduction of emissions from industry, we call it Perform, Achieve, Trade, because if you overachieve the emissions reduction, you get energy saving certificates which you can trade, or emission saving certificates which you can trade, which are sold, which have a price. I think it's in the range of a couple of thousand rupees as of now. There's an exchange for that. Now that has resulted in emissions reduction of about 106 million tons per annum. So this is how our appliances program has resulted, the star rating program has resulted in an emissions reduction of 53 million tons per annum. So these are the steps. Our program for energy efficient housing that has been, adopted across the country by almost all, the regulatory agencies, so that future construction is energy efficient. We have a plethora of green buildings coming up. So we achieved our NDC, which we had pledged in COP21 in Paris 9 years in advance, as it was mentioned by the Honorable Prime Minister in his speech, in terms of emissions reduction. We've achieved our NDC in terms of energy transition also 9 years in advance. Today, our established capacity of non-fossil fuel power generation is about 42% green and 42% non-fossil. I have about 180 odd thousand megawatts of non-fossil electricity generation capacity out of a total capacity of 416 gigawatts. And we have a further about 83 gigawatts under construction, non-fossil fuel capacity, which includes hydro and nuclear. So because of these things, we are perhaps the only country which has increased its ambition. From COP21 to COP26, we increased our ambition. And then we've pledged that by 2030, we'll reduce our emissions intensity by 45%. And that, we'll have 50% of our capacity coming from non-fossils by 2030 instead of 40%. And we shall overachieve both. Now, all this despite being the lowest emitters in the world. That's because our government believes in it. Our government believes in leaving behind and I keep saying this, our government believes in leaving behind a healthier planet for our succeeding generations. And that's why we launched the Green Hydrogen Mission. And in this also we shall emerge, and we have already started emerging as a leader. We already have programs on the ground. You know, people have, industries have acquired land, you know, they have got into agreements with states for setting up 3.5 million tons of manufacturing of green hydrogen already. That's the pace at which we are going. And there is a reason for it. The reason is that we have built up a huge ecosystem, which are very robust ecosystem for renewables. So we have now industries which are world leaders in renewables, whether it is solar, whether it is wind. In wind energy, we have perhaps one of the largest manufacturing ecosystems in the world. In the solar energy ecosystem, we are getting there. We already have almost about 25,000 megawatts of manufacturing capacity, and we have another about 40 gigawatts of manufacturing capacity for under construction for solar cells and modules, and almost about 25 gigawatts of that would be from polysilicon onwards. So we are going to emerge as the largest manufacturer of solar cells and modules in the world outside of China. But outside of China, nobody will come close to us, because we'll have approximately 70, 80 gigawatts of manufacturing capacity, 50% of which will be from polysilicon onwards. And that's already on the works. People are already setting up factories as we speak. And this, this is what will happen insofar as hydrogen is concerned as well. Already, because our costs of setting up renewable energy capacity is the lowest in the world. It's just about $600,000 per megawatt. It's the lowest in the world. Therefore, our green hydrogen will be the least cost green hydrogen in the world. And the world knows that. The world realizes it. Now, there are reasons for this. Of course, we have put in place an ecosystem which is robust. Our ecosystem is such that we've connected the whole country into one grid. We added about 197,000 circuit kilometers of transmission lines in the past 14 years. This government has added. And now we can transfer about 112,000 megawatts from one corner of the country to another. That's what we have done. And now we've set ourselves a target of setting up 500 gigawatts, 500,000 megawatts of renewable energy capacity by 2030. Now that's way beyond that NDC. Our NDC is 50%. By 2030, my my capacity would be about 800 gigawatts, 800,000 megawatts. Now 50% of that is 400,000 megawatts. But we've planned to set up 500,000 megawatts of renewable energy capacity. And we are adding transmission to enable the transfer of that capacity from wherever to wherever in our country. That's what we are doing. And, we've changed the way we do business. I mean, this is a different government. Our government is totally different. We've changed the way we do business. We believe that our mission in government is to help industry, to make sure that you can do your business. That's our business. To make sure that you can do your business at the least cost. And therefore, we've changed the rules. Today, you apply for connectivity, you will get connectivity in 60 days, or somebody will answer to me. Somebody's head will roll. You apply for connectivity anywhere else in the developed country, it will take you 1.5 years, 2 years to get connectivity. That's my challenge. That's why India is the place to work in. And that's why, Bloomberg has called us as the most attractive destination for investments in the world, insofar as renewable energy is concerned. And that's why every major fund is invested here. Now, there's another reason why every major fund is invested here, and will continue to get invested here. And that is that we are the fastest growing large economy in the world. Our rate of growth is 7.2%. For a large economy, that's huge. The rate of growth of other large economies would range from 1% to maybe 3%. Our rate of growth is 7.2%. And it's going to accelerate further. So my demand is increasing. My energy demand is increasing. As I said, my capacity today is 416,000 megawatts. By 2030, it will go up to 800,000 megawatts. And that's a conservative estimate which we have. That's double in the next 7 years. and it will further double by 2047. That's where we are at. So by the energy demand is going to be 3 times what it is now. That's what it is. So we are the biggest market. Now, if you are in the business of energy, and this is the place to be. That is given, because we are the biggest market, we are the biggest growing market. All the developed world cannot continue growing at that pace. I mean, their growth has plateaued out. But our growth is accelerating, so we are the biggest market. So if you are in the electricity industry or energy industry, please, I mean, if you are missing this, you are missing the biggest market in the world. So that's why nobody wants to miss it. Now we are going to set up a huge ecosystem for hydrogen as well. We have a production-linked incentive scheme for electrolyzers. And then we have, for the initial 3 years, we'll also support the production of green hydrogen, green ammonia. The biggest support, of course, is that we are a huge market. That's the biggest support. Now, as I said, this is just the cusp. We are at the cusp. This is not, the hydrogen ecosystem. It just started growing around the world. The things which we are doing are all, being done for the first time. The things which the world is doing are being done for the first time. Green steel. I mean, we are doing it for the first time. The rest of the world is also doing it for the first time. So we'll have pilots. The rest of the world is also having, the developed world is also having pilots. We'll have pilots. The advantage, of course, our pilots will be that, when that pilot succeeds, they have this huge 150 million ton per annum steel market here. I mean, steel manufacturing capacity here. It is not paralleled anywhere in the world. So we want to do a pilot and come here, and because we have the biggest steel industry in the world outside of China. Similarly, transport, heavy mobility. And given we'll have the biggest sort of demand outside of China, but that's the pilot which we are having. We are doing already. You heard already. Similarly, in fertilizers, green fertilizers, green cement. Now all these are things which we are doing, because we are interested in the environment. That's our commitment. That's the commitment of the government, and this we shall continue doing. Let there be no mistake, let there be no doubt about it. And we want the whole world to partner us. And that, I think, is the solution. The solution is not setting up barriers, which some countries have started doing. We heard speeches from these countries for the past many decades about how, free trade is absolutely necessary and how it is ethical, etc., etc. Now, those countries are setting up barriers, which is shameful. And if you set up barriers, then you are not helping the cause of the world going to net zero. We shall get there because your barriers won't work. And incidentally, let me tell you that barriers can be put up by different, by both parties. So if you put up barriers, we can put up barriers as well. The difference only is that if I start putting up barriers, you will face a barrier in entering the biggest market in the world. Of course, outside of China. If you want to go to China, of course, that's your option. But if I start putting up barriers, then you will be losing out. So to the countries who are putting up barriers, that's my message, that too can play at a game. So we'll also play at a game. So no barriers. But the type of barriers which I see coming up are also ridiculous. You have one region which has said that the distance between the point of generation of renewable energy and the location of electrolyzers should not be more than 500 kilometers. Now tell me, is there any logic in it? We transport electricity for thousands of kilometers from, we are setting up, incidentally, 13,000 megawatts of renewable energy capacity in Ladakh. Now that's the highest plateau in the world. And we'll be transferring that electricity, that's green electricity, solar and wind entirely. 13,000 megawatts with storage around the clock. And we'll be transferring it, across our country to my friend Rameswar's state in Assam, which is almost about, 1,200, 1,500 kilometers away, and to Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. That's thousands of kilometers away. We'll be using that green hydrogen for, that green energy for producing green hydrogen of the just outside the port premises of Tuticorin. That's thousands of kilometers away. Now, what's the point of saying that the distance between the renewable energy capacity and electrolyzer should be only 500 kilometers? What's the point? It's a barrier. Some people are giving the huge subsidies, which is equals to the cost of producing green hydrogen, which is also a barrier. Now, if you talk about barriers, stop talking about going green. And incidentally, that's what's already happened. I'm surprised. The discussions which I am having and which my officers are reporting to me. I mean, we have countries saying that, no, don't talk about green hydrogen, talk about low carbon hydrogen. Now, if you talk about low carbon hydrogen, you're not talking about going green. You're not talking about net zero. That's the point. If you're talking about blue hydrogen, the point is that it has dangers. I mean, you make blue hydrogen, where will you store the carbon dioxide? You're saying that we can sequester it. There's a question mark. Commercial scale sequestration, I have yet to see. And the guarantees that it will not leak out is a question. So all these are questions. I hear talk about small modular reactors. Great. Nuclear energy is clean. We believe in that. The problem, of course, is storage of the waste. So the reminder is that there's a cabinet scheduled at 10:30. So I think I'll have to rush. But I look forward to the results of your deliberations. What we shall do is that we'll give you the demand, number one. We'll help you to develop the products. I already saw, when I entered, I saw made in India products, made in India fuel cells. Great. Made in India hydrogen mobility. Great. So it's already happening as we speak. The thing is that the government will partner you. Will partner the industry in developing cutting-edge technology insofar as fuel cells are concerned, insofar as hydrogen storage is concerned, and we'll be with you. We'll give you the demand. We'll also help you to develop it. So the development R&D roadmap, which has been outlined by the principal scientific advisor, that R&D roadmap will have a partnership across the board. Government, our laboratories, and the IITs, and the industry. And we'll do it, in total partnership, so that the patent is owned by all of us in common. So come and partner with us. All the industries, this is an invitation. Partner with us for developing, more efficient fuel cells. Partner with us for developing, mechanisms for transporting green hydrogen. Partner with us in pilots for green steel, green cement. Come and partner with us. This is the biggest market in the world, and we shall make things here. We shall prefer things which are made here. I wish you all the best in your deliberations, and I shall wait keenly for the results of the deliberations. Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर. आपका कोटि कोटि धन्यवाद आपकी प्रेरणा के लिए. May I now invite Director General Council of Scientific and Industrial Research and Secretary Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Government of India, Dr. N. Kalaiselvi, to propose words of thanks.
Namaskar, Vanakkam, and pleasant morning to every one of you. Honorable Minister of Power and Renewable Energy, Shri R.K. Singh Ji. Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Rameshwar Ji. Professor Ajay Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. Shri Bhupinder Balla, Secretary MNRE. Participants from India and across the globe, overseas participants, researchers, scientists, academia, faculty, MSME, startups, entrepreneurs, well-wishers, press and media, and I would say all the well-wishers of India as well as the globe. I'm extremely happy to be a part of this historically important international conference on green hydrogen, wherein we are gathered here to brainstorm on the various aspects of hydrogen for its production, for its application and its storage. And the most amazing part is we are going to brainstorm on how hydrogen is going to be looked from Indian perspective, from Japanese perspective, from African perspective, from European perspective, and from Australian perspective also. Before we just go into the details of this one, if at all we ask a kid about hydrogen, how to define hydrogen, at the primary school level, the kid will say H stands for H as an alphabet. The same kid, after some time, will start telling that hydrogen is a gas. Then after some years, with little more education, the kid will say hydrogen is an element. Then the kid, when reaches the college student will say hydrogen is the lightest element in the periodic table. Then upon this post-graduation, and when we just go for enter into the research area, we view hydrogen as the source of energy, energy carrier, and we consider that hydrogen is the fuel also. If you just compare the calorific value, hydrogen is the highest fuel calorific value containing fuel, and therefore hydrogen is obviously a fuel. Therefore, we are here to brainstorm and to understand and to finally arrive at how are we going to handle this hydrogen and why should we handle hydrogen today? That is the most thought-provoking thought today. Friends, it is not the problem of only India, it is not the problem of only Africa or America or Japan or Europe. I'm talking about the problem of climate change. It is a global problem. And to address this global problem, I think we have to touch upon the very important role of this green hydrogen, and that is why, a very, very far foresighted vision and a thought-provoking manner, the idea was conceived by the national leadership, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, who is the President of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. When I was just making a presentation in the society meeting, so it was mentioned by the Honorable Prime Minister of this country. He just threw a very, very important question. Can you get hydrogen, green hydrogen, from wastewater? The moment he threw the question, he said that it is not a question to only CSIR, it is a question to the entire Indian community, and therefore this is a time you can think about. You can have some kind of a conference wherein you should have a detailed discussion and you should have international participation also, because this is the, I would say, from the Prime Minister's viewpoint also, hydrogen could be considered as the solution to mitigate the ill effects of global warming. And that's why, friends, it started with this kind of an initiation from the leadership, and I take this opportunity to extend and to share the heartfelt thanks to the Honorable Prime Minister of this country for having conceived the idea of this international conference on green hydrogen, and also he was so kind enough amidst his busy schedule to share his wishes and his appreciations to each and every one of us on this very special day. So I just request each and every one of you to give a good round of applause to the Honorable Prime Minister of India. It is his idea, his vision, his thought, and his advisory, and his suggestion due to which we are all gathered here. And when the idea got conceived, then we all started working as a team, because India always believe in team working. So CSIR, then immediately the principal scientific advisor and his good office, they came into volunteered their service, and I should say without any hesitation, with the greatest help of the PSA and his good office, again we joined hands with the two more ministries, MNRE and MOPNG, and finally with CII, and it became a 5-member organizing committee, and the organizing committee started working towards this particular international conference. And we are here, and today's inauguration is extremely graced by the great presence, august presence of the Honorable Minister of Power and New and Renewable Energy, R.K. Singh. Sir, we are extremely thankful to you for having spared your valuable time, and you have graced this occasion. And our thanks are due to the Minister of State of Petroleum MOPNG. Sir Rameshwarji, we are extremely thankful to you. And I should definitely thank our Ajay Sood Saab, his good officers who are sitting here. And all the time, they were really working very hard. And round the clock, his office was working. And the most important organizer is MNRE, Bhupendra Singh Balaji, along with his group, and Dipesh Farwani, who used to be always working with us, maybe round the clock. And I should say special thanks to Dr. Ashish Lele, who took very active participation from CSIR side, and Professor Dr. SSV Ramkumar from MOPNG. So this group really started working day and night, and because of their work and because of the organizing committee, I would say technical committee, program committee, everyone worked in with the greatest spirit, and because of the team, this event has really taken this particular shape. I take this opportunity to share my heartfelt thanks on behalf of organizing committee to each and every one who are here and who are willingly doing all your efforts and supports for the successful completion of this particular event. And I should say, this event is going to be a rocking event for next 3 days, and therefore it is going to be graced by number of chairpersons, speakers, plenary speakers, chairpersons as well as panelists from India and from abroad. And the most important thing is researchers and participants who are really going to take the message from this hall, and you are only going to implement it for its effective implementation to ensure that we are going to fulfill the dreams of the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister of the country. And therefore, I take this opportunity to share my heartfelt thanks to each and every one who are sitting here, and those who have already contributed. I should say the sponsors. So sponsors also, they are just coming in terms of platinum sponsors, diamond sponsors, gold sponsors, and silver sponsors. So all these very precious noble metal sponsors are also gratefully thanked on this occasion. And above all, as I already told, number of ministries, number of officials, researchers, well-wishers, and all of you are decorating. And my only appeal, I take this opportunity to make an appeal. Friends, normally when we are celebrating happiness, we will forget the boundaries. Similarly, when there is a common problem, when there is a difficult situation, yes, we are passing through the difficult situation in terms of climate change. I think this is the high time. We all should one more time synergize and showcase the team working efforts, not only within India, but across the globe. And I strongly believe each and every one of us here, we will take this message very cautiously in our mind, and let us take an oath that we should try our level best to make use of the best use of hydrogen, especially green hydrogen. Why I say green hydrogen is hydrogen could be correlated and connected with all the 7 colors of rainbow. But then of the 7 colors of rainbow, this green color hydrogen, this green hydrogen is the most desirable one. And therefore, let us take an oath that we will try our level best to do justice with respect to the generation, the effective utilization, and the storage of green hydrogen, not only in India and across the globe. And using hydrogen as a trump card, let us try to address the ill effects of global change. With these few words, once again, I thank press and media and all the brothers and sisters of India and across the globe who are going to make this event a successful event. Thank you so very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Dr. Karai Saviji. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister of State. I thank all the dignitaries on the dais for gracing this occasion. May I request you all to kindly join us for a cup of tea, and we shall resume back at 11 a.m. for the plenary session in the same hall. The theme for the session will be India Perspective, but let me share one information with you also. The demo projects are displayed outside, and stall displaying the latest technology are exhibited in the exhibition hall on the first floor, and the tea is being organized at the foyer area and the atrium. Sponsors can go to the foyer area, and the organizers and media can go to the atrium area. Thank you so much, and all are requested to resume back at 11 a.m. for the plenary session in the plenary hall in the same hall. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
सिर्फ 2 रहेंगी, वहाँ से हटा दो। में नाम लिया मुस्कान, तुझे पता है 2 नाम कौन से?
अलग है, इसमें क्यों करना है, वो डल जाएंगे हमारे। हाँ वैसे डल तो जाएंगे।
check, hello, hello, check, check. No number there? Hello, check, check, hello, check, check. Check. Check, check, hello, hello, check, check. Hello, check, check, mic check. Hello, 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 check. Check, hello, check, 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 check. Hello, hello, check. Check, hello, hello. विसल आ रही है अभी चेक हेलो चेक चेक हेलो हेलो चेक चेक हेलो हेलो चेक 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 हेलो चेक हेलो हेलो चेक 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 हेलो चेक इको चेक हेलो check, 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 1, 2, 3, check, hello, 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 check, check, 1, 2, check, 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 hello, check, 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 1, 2, check, hello, 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 check, hello, check, check. Check, hello, check. Check, 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 1, 2, check. Hello, 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 check, check, hello, check, 1, 2, 3, check. Check, 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 hello, hello, check. Check, 1, 2, hello, hello. Check, 1, 2, 3, check. Hello, hello, check. Check, check, hello. Check, 1, 2, 3, check. Check. Check, hello, 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 check. नहीं ठीक है 1 मिनट चेक हेलो 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 चेक 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 हेलो ठीक सर साउंड ठीक है हेलो चेक 1 2 3 चेक हेलो चेक चेक हेलो 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 चेक 1 2 चेक 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 हेलो check, 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 hello, check, check, 1, 2, 3, check, hello, 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 check. Check, check, hello, check.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, check, hello, Maxi, हेलो 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 हेलो
check, check, hello, check, check, hello, check, 1, 2, 3, check, check, hello, check, check, 1, 2, 3, check.